What's going on, guys? So the last video I posted, I was mixing up this paint and I was getting ready to spray it out. um, I was able to spray it out, but I also wanted to just make a note. I've never really painted a car before. This is the first time I painted a car. I've painted random little things here and there, and actually everything I've pretty much painted is on this YouTube channel, so keep that in mind. I'm not a seasoned painter at all, but this is with the paint job done. And I also, if you stick around, I do some extra stuff here, and I'm doing some lowrider patterns on the back of it. I had to paint it all in sections again, but it came out pretty damn good. So take a look. Again, we just painted the top half of the car because we're going to just do our patterns on the top, and the sides of the car are going to be black. So we only needed to paint some of the car. But looking at this thing, it came out pretty damn good. I'm really happy with the way everything laid out. The flake laid out really nice. I didn't have any complaints with any of the paint materials that I used. The matrix paint has been really good too. At night is when this car shines. That flake in the light, it's insane. So here's the trunk, wet sanded down. What we're gonna do is start our lowrider patterns here on the back of the trunk. We'll just paint this trunk panel, and then we'll clear coat it. Next week we'll paint the roof and the sail panels, clear coat it, and then the following week we'll do the hood and the little front piece. And here's some of the different tapes I used. Limeline makes a really nice 1/8 inch and 16th tape. I also picked up some random tape on Amazon. I'll put the links in the description. This Iwata or whatever airbrush is nasty. I just bought it a few weeks ago and I've been messing around with it. Makes airbrushing pretty friggin' nice. Put a link in the description for that as well. So what I did is I drew up how I wanted my patterns to lay out. Drew them up in the computer and then vectorized it. Had a sign shop cut it out of vinyl, and now I'm going to use it as kind of like a guide to where I'm going to put my 1/8 inch tape. So first I started out by finding the middle of the trunk, and then I'm cleaning up the trunk with some glass cleaner, just sticking this vinyl down. Not even any good, it's just there to like give me a guide so I know where each point is and where I start and stop. So what I'm going to do is go around with my 1/8 inch tape and tape off all where the vinyl was. Go back and then peel off the vinyl, then run my 16th inch tape around everywhere, and just pay attention. Work smarter, not harder. That's my motto. So with our trunk all taped up, we know what our patterns are going to look like, and everything laid out perfectly exactly like I wanted it. Um, Everything's landing in the right spot. Everything's equal on each side. That's really the main thing. So everything took pretty much the whole day to get it taped up and where we needed. Here I'm shooting water up to try to give a water effect on the one section of patterns. So basically, once you have the water beaded up on your wet sanded stuff, what you're going to want to do is kind of dust the area. I initially started trying to dust it with just the airbrush, but there's not enough paint that comes out of the airbrush, so I had to use the gun, the regular air gun in here. It's probably like one of the only times that I use the air gun besides, painting the clear, doing this whole paint job. But what we'll do is we'll spray it, probably 3 coats, 3 light really coats, and then let it sit overnight, let that water dry, and then finish up our patterns in the morning. So this is what it looks like beat it up with paint sprayed on top of it. I mean, you can see that it is still wet looking, but even in the morning, right here, you can see that it definitely still looks wet. Like I had to touch it just to make sure. But this is some of that tape I bought off of Amazon. The link is in the description. It actually worked out pretty good. They had a lot of different sizes in the kit. So I have my airbrush loaded up with some black and clear mixed together, or black and clear base coat mixed together. So it's kind of like a transparent black. I found these awesome lace tablecloths on Amazon. Link is in the description. And we used our clear and black paint through the first one here at the bottom middle. Same paint that we used on the water drops. On the sides we used even a different tablecloth, and now we're using solid black paint. And I'm going to use a piece of cardboard to kind of keep the overspray down because I didn't want to mask anything if I could help it. Since none of the other stuff is clear coated, the masking would have messed it up. But just running this piece of cardboard, everything worked out perfect. Right here I'm doing a color where I mixed silver and black together and a little bit of metallic flake. Overall, we're probably, with the silver base, the black, the transparent black, the silver and black, and a gray, we got about 5 colors on here, which is pretty good. Here you can see me laying out all the different layers of tape and thicknesses, going from fat in the middle to thin as I got to the end, and then just come back and trim it up. What I'll do is just peel out every other one and do a reveal and dust it in. Here, obviously, we're using straight black, doing all our shadowing, and then we'll finish up the reveal. So this is after spraying 4 coats of clear on top of it, and man, it pops now. I'm actually extremely happy with the way this turned out, and almost can't believe that I painted it. Um, it's not really much wrong with it. There's a couple issues here and there with some of the shadowing, but it is my first time painting anything. It's my second time using the airbrush, so I'm not really too concerned with it. I think I did kind of a phenomenal job, if I do say so myself, for what it is. I'm painting outside, straight out in the under trees. Never painted before, so pretty good. Now here's it at night. This is really set it off with the lights and all the painting on there. I cannot wait to finish the rest of this car. If you like this, please like and subscribe and throw a like on there for me. Check out my Instagram, and later.